Franz Ferdinand was the Archduke of Austria-Hungary, whose assassination in 1914 triggered the events leading to World War I. Franz Ferdinand was born on December 18, 1863. Franz Ferdinand led a life of privilege as a member of the Austro-Hungarian royal family. He held the title of Archduke and was the heir to the throne. His lifestyle included royal duties, military service, and a marriage to Countess Sophie Chotek. His life took a tragic turn when he was assassinated in Sarajevo in 1914, setting off a chain of events that led to World War I. Franz Ferdinand was assassinated on June 28, 1914, in Sarajevo by Gavrilo Princip, a member of a nationalist group seeking the independence of South Slavic peoples from Austro-Hungarian rule. The assassination was motivated by dissatisfaction with the Austro-Hungarian government and a desire for the independence of Serbia. The event triggered a series of diplomatic tensions and alliances, eventually leading to the outbreak of World War I. Gavrilo Princip was arrested after assassinating Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie on June 28, 1914. Due to being under the age of 20 at the time, he could not be sentenced to death under Austro-Hungarian law. Instead, Princip was given a prison sentence of 20 years. Unfortunately, Princip's health deteriorated in prison, and he died on April 28, 1918, less than 4 years after the assassination. Gavrilo Princip was a member of the nationalist group known as the Black Hand, which aimed at achieving the independence of South Slavic peoples from Austro-Hungarian rule. While there were connections between the Black Hand and elements within the Serbian government, the direct involvement of the Serbian government in ordering the assassination is debated. Some members of the Black Hand had ties to Serbian military and intelligence, but the extent to which the Serbian government orchestrated the assassination remains unclear and has been a subject of historical debate. The assassination of Franz Ferdinand served as a catalyst for the outbreak of World War I due to a complex web of political, military, and diplomatic factors. 1. Austria-Hungary's response. Austria-Hungary, blaming Serbia for the assassination, issued an ultimatum with harsh terms. When Serbia's response was deemed unsatisfactory, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia on July 28, 1914. 2. Alliance systems. The alliance systems in place at that time played a significant role. Austria-Hungary was supported by Germany, and Serbia had ties to Russia. As Austria-Hungary's conflict with Serbia escalated, other nations were drawn in due to their alliances. 3. Escalation of conflicts. The declaration of war triggered a chain reaction of alliances being invoked. Russia, allied with Serbia, began mobilizing its forces, prompting Germany to declare war on Russia. France, allied with Russia, was then drawn into the conflict. 4. Invasion of Belgium. Germany's invasion of Belgium, as part of its military strategy, brought the United Kingdom into the war. The violation of Belgian neutrality led to the UK declaring war on Germany on August 4, 1914. 5. Globalization of the conflict. As more nations entered the war due to pre-existing alliances and geopolitical considerations, what started as a regional conflict quickly escalated into a global conflict involving major world powers. The assassination of Franz Ferdinand served as a trigger, but the underlying tensions, militarism, and the alliance system in Europe contributed to the rapid and widespread escalation of the conflict, ultimately leading to the outbreak of World War I. During World War I, the major countries that participated on the side of the Allies, Entente or the Central Powers, included Allies Entente 1. France, 2. Russia until 1917, 3. United Kingdom, 4. Italy, joined the Allies in 1915 after initially being aligned with the Central Powers. 5. United States, joined in 1917, 6. Japan, Central Powers 1. Germany, 2. Austria-Hungary, 3. Ottoman Empire, 4. Bulgaria, joined the Central Powers in 1915. Many other nations, both within and outside Europe, also became involved in the war due to alliances, colonial ties, or geopolitical considerations, turning the conflict into a truly global war. World War I resulted in a staggering number of casualties, both military and civilian. The estimates vary, but it's generally accepted that the total number of casualties was around 10 million military personnel and 7 million civilians. These numbers include both deaths and wounded. The toll was particularly devastating due to the introduction of new and more lethal technologies in warfare. trench warfare, and the scale of the conflict involving numerous nations. The war had profound and lasting effects on the world, shaping the course of history in the 20th century. World War can end through a combination of diplomatic negotiations, armistices, and peace treaties. Key elements in ending a world war typically include 1. Negotiations and diplomacy. High-level diplomatic negotiations involving representatives from the warring nations are crucial. These negotiations aim to address the causes of the conflict, resolve disputes, and establish terms for peace. 2. Armistice or ceasefire. Before a formal peace treaty is signed, an armistice or ceasefire may be agreed upon to halt active hostilities. This temporary cessation of fighting allows for negotiations to take place. 3. Peace treaties. A comprehensive peace treaty is usually drafted to formally end the war. This treaty outlines the terms and conditions agreed upon by the involved nations. It may address issues such as territorial changes, reparations, demilitarization, and other conditions for lasting peace. 4. International cooperation. The support and involvement of the international community, including neutral nations and international organizations, can play a crucial role in facilitating the end of a world war. Mediation and arbitration may be used to help resolve disputes. 5. Reconstruction and reconciliation. After the war, efforts are often needed for post-war reconstruction and reconciliation. This includes rebuilding infrastructure, addressing economic challenges, and fostering diplomatic relationships to prevent future conflicts. 6. Multilateral agreements. In some cases, multilateral agreements or alliances are formed to ensure stability and prevent the reemergence of hostilities. Examples include the League of Nations after World War I and the United Nations after World War II. 7. Demobilization and disarmament. Steps are taken to demobilize military forces and implement disarmament measures to reduce the likelihood of a renewed arms race or aggressive actions. The end of a world war is a complex process that requires cooperation, compromise, and international coordination to establish a lasting peace.